Cool. Whoa.
Whoa.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Hi everybody, my name's Freddie. I'm with Infinite Tech Services, and I'm here with Gary with GaryCruz.com, and he has a YouTube channel, Amaze Studios.
Yeah, and essentially I do videos and I do gadget reviews, and today Freddie's helping me out with doing a camera install, and I'm also helping him out with the video production for his YouTube channel.
Awesome. Yeah, I know. So we're going to do a series of videos, and it's going to cover IP cameras, the configuration, how to add them to the NVR, opposed to adding them to a network switch, the pros and cons about that. We're also going to be installing hard drives on the NVR, and also walking you through the SD card mounting on the IP cameras.
Yeah, so if you're new to the Infinite Tech Services channel, what are kind of the things that you cover on it?
We do a lot of installation tips. We go over unboxing, equipment, reviewing, answering any questions you guys might be wondering about.
What other services do you provide other than camera installs?
We do a lot of residential and business installations. We do takeovers, so people that already have, or customers that already have cameras installed, we go in there and sort it out for them, help them out,
that's pretty cool.
Clean it all up.
Yeah, in fact, while I was sitting here earlier, you got an email from a customer,
That's right.
a potential customer on a website, and they were asking you about configuring an existing system, right?
Yeah, they had previously bought a Reolink, and they didn't think it was going to be that. They thought it was going to be easy, but in the email it said it was. They had
It was a little more challenging.
The
The funny thing is that when I first reached out to him, I was considering Reolink too. Remember?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, what do you usually install, right? And then we were saying that things.
Yeah, so we just went over a series of different brands that we installed, and we picked Hikvision.
Yeah, Hikvision. I did my own little research. I like Hikvision too. In fact, where I go to the gym, they use Hikvision, but the other one was Dahua.
Yeah, Dahua.
Dahua.
We do a lot of Dahua, Hikvision, Axis, Bosch cameras. So
Yeah.
those are all good cameras.
And also, I saw that on Yelp that you do some Ring.
Yeah,
Ring installs.
so we do Ring installation, Nest installations as well.
Okay.
So yeah, any smart home devices like your Ring doorbells, your floodlights. So we definitely help you with those.
Yeah. In fact, just a little bit of background of why I'm doing this installation in my home is because I have a Ring Doorbell Pro. Is that what it is?
Yeah,
The Pro?
Ring Pro.
Yeah. And I also have a Samsung Smart Cam that's a few years old. The resolution isn't really that great. I mean, I like the Ring. The biggest challenge for me is that with the Ring, as soon as someone rings the doorbell and then I take a look at it on my phone, they've already taken off.
Yeah.
What's nice about having a... Yeah, because it's like, it's trying to connect over the Wi-Fi.
That's 131. Or did you scan the big box?
I
You
need to
didn't take a
take
picture of it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's right. We didn't have those packages, right?
No.
For 1091 because there was yeah.
What's nice about having a wired system is that I want to broadcast the feed from the NVR to all the TVs in the house. So let's say if I'm watching TV, someone rings the doorbell, I'll have to click on video 2 and I have instant access to my security feed.
Yeah, with those that splitter, the HDMI splitter they sent you.
Yeah,
All right.
so GoFanco sent me some equipment to do HDMI to IP. And so essentially it'll broadcast the HDMI over my network. Wherever I have a receiver, I can receive the video input from the NVR.
Cool.
And so what are we going to be covering today?
So today we're going to be covering configuring the IP cameras. We're going to set the static IP. That way they're just plug and play when we go mount them.
Yep.
Or install them. And yeah, we're going to go through the configurations, installing the SD cards. And
We have two types of installs, right? Because what I looked online,
Oh, right.
you can connect the cameras directly to the NVR,
that's correct.
right? However, since I have two PTZ cameras, there's some special features on the cameras, and what would those be?
Pan tilt zoom is what PTZ stands for. So,
And you have to connect to the camera's software directly in order to take advantage of some of that. So that's why in my configuration in my home, we'll be using a switch.
yeah, we're going to go from the camera to the switch, and then from the switch to the NVR.
Exactly. And some of the other things too, for those who are a little network savvy, when you look at the setup here with the switch as a hardware switch, the switch is isolating the camera network from the rest of my network, and then it sends that video feed into the NVR. However, if you're used to like a more complex switch like a Cisco or maybe Ubiquiti, you can set up a VLAN and do the same thing. But in my case, we went with a physical switch. We'll connect the cameras directly to the switch, which will have a separate subnet IP address, and then that will plug into the NVR, and the NVR is what I can connect to. So I can have an option of either connecting directly to the cameras or going to the NVR to look at the feed of all the cameras at once.
That's right. Let's get right to it, man.
All right, looking forward to it.
So we're gonna start off with 8 megapixel Hikvision camera.
I chose this one because it's a dome camera. It's got the H2, I think all the cameras have H.265 plus, which reduces the bandwidth and the storage.
So these are good because they're domes, so they're vandal resistant, so they can break that little lens, actually the little plexiglass, and they won't damage the lens at all. They can spray paint it over it, so this is replaceable.
Great, that's good to know. So let's go ahead and get started with showing how to install the SD card.
Cool. So all cameras come with this tool. I don't know if you can see it there. Yeah, there you go. So this is like a little security star bit tool. But we always use this guy right here when we're installing. So there you go.
And basically, yeah, I think that's a Torx.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Star bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get right to it. It's much better than doing it on the ladder, that's for sure. Yeah, so I always keep this little film on just so you won't get any oil or fingerprints. And this opens right up. It has this little elastic band. That way when it's in the ceiling and installed, you have that. You don't have to...
It's like a little dongle.
Right.
Yeah,
So
keeps
that
it from falling.
Yeah, keeps it from falling.
That's pretty smart.
Oh, there it goes. You can't see it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty smart.
So it definitely helps when you're on...
Yeah, another pro tip is that you want to do something like this before installing. If you're doing this on your own, I would definitely test all the cameras before mounting them, right?
Yeah, you know, you're not having to work double, having to take the camera off and check the wiring. We actually tested the wire before we even mount the cameras too, so that's always
actually
good.
micro SD, so you don't even need the adapter.
Oh, really?
Yep, just
That's
push right in.
Huh. Put it in now.
There you
There
go.
you go.
You have to have nails. Alright, so there it is.
Cool.
So taking a look at this one, this is a pretty hefty camera. It's all metal construction on the outside, so they're pretty durable. And I chose this particular camera because it's called Color View, but it has a larger sensor on it, which provides a nicer nighttime view versus, and it's in color versus being in black and white with infrared. Yeah, this is a new camera. This just came out. It's 4 megapixels, which is still plenty to get resolution. This will be in the front of my home, capturing the street. So any activity in there.
It's kind of acting like a backup for the PTZ.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this right here, it just clips right off. And then you have a security screw right there. So this one's just strictly to rotate the camera.
Okay.
I thought it came apart, but no, look, if you see here, it has
Yeah, that's the SD card.
Yeah. These are new.
These are tricky. There you go.
There it is.
Clicks right in.
Boom. Yeah, we put the little cover back.
Does that the cover have an O-ring on it, or
Yeah, it should.
like a protected?
Yeah. Boom.
Oh, wait, I can't see it. Yeah, that keeps the water out.
Yeah.
I think, what are these rated as? IP66 or?
Yeah, IP66.
Is it like in all 4 corners?
Yeah, all 4 corners has, you'll see probably.
Oh, these have infrared.
Oh,
Yep,
this whole ring is the infrared.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
You have to remove the 4 screws. Jeez, you have to totally disassemble this just to add a memory card?
I'll just...
Alright, so if you're wondering what it looks like on the inside, there you go, and there's the SD slot. And you see the motor up here.
It's pretty cool.
Alright, let's get this SD card in there.
There it goes.
There you go.
There it is.
does this go in there? Oh, you just, oh, I see. You don't slide it in. You
Just place it on there.
you just place it on there like that, and then you close this, and then
Boom,
slide down.
locked. Cool.
So, so the way you open it, you slide this back.
It even says on there,
Yeah, you can see
unlock
it.
and lock.
And then you close that. So it doesn't slide in, you just place it down on there and then close it.
Cool.
Alright, let's get that closed back up.
These
Yeah.
are the infrared. It's got all around it.
It's amazing how much technology they cram in these
I know.
things. It's like a little UFO.
Yeah. The next one's going to be BB-8.
A lot of money, and it took up a lot of space. And now they can cram all that into this little microchip.
Isn't that crazy? Alright, so lastly we have the big boy.
The big boy.
The big boy.
Alright, so this last one is the bigger PTZ camera. It's also 4 megapixels. It has IP66 weatherproofing on it. And what I liked about this is that it has smart tracking, and the smart tracking allows the camera, if you ever seen demos of the DJI gimbals, and you can point at something and it'll automatically follow them, this is the same feature. It'll automatically track movement and zoom in on the movement. So it could be a car, it could be a person, and it'll patrol. They have a feature called patrol, and
Yeah,
it goes.
it's pretty cool.
It'll pan at certain spots that you designate.
You see these little oval shaped. So yeah, so those get notched out.
Oh,
And there's
okay.
a security screw in there.
Oh, there's like little rubber covers, gaskets.
Yeah. So yeah, that makes sense. And security bit.
So in most of the installs that you do, they're just connecting them directly to the NVR, right?
Yeah, just straight plug and play. That's usually how it goes.
Yeah, so like I said earlier, this is not a necessary step. It's just me just being a little more particular about having a backup.
And this one also has that little lanyard.
Where they hide the SD slot in this thing. Oh, it's probably right here. Looks like a
Open that up.
yeah.
No? Right there.
Oh, there we go. So we can get that on the
Yeah,
video.
they're all a little different.
So right here. So this one goes here.
The other way.
It's almost a disadvantage. These things are so small these days.
Mhm. Pretty cool.
There we go. Clips in. You get the back side of this. Here, I'll take it.
Looks like a brain, huh?
Yeah.
R2D2's brain.
It's like a droid.
For real.
We're doing a complex surgery here. There we
Yeah.
go. Then we'll replace the access.
So yeah, these are the screws if you ever want to replace this lens. Or not this lens, what is this? The cover?
The
Yeah,
dome.
cover, the dome cover, yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Wait, it's
Oh yeah, that's good.
kind of line up the.
Good catch.
There we go. Again, and when I was doing research for these PTZ cameras, they have big ones that hang on a pendant, and they don't have a dome. And I'll overlay the video footage, but the disadvantage of some of those is that you can see where it's pointing. And the fact that this has a dome, you have to be really up close to see where the camera's pointing. In other words, I don't want to freak out my neighbors as the thing's following them as they're
Got more
walking.
cameras in the White House, man.
All right, so that really covers all the installation of the SD cards in these cameras. Next up, we'll do the configuration and setup, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, so in this step what we're going to do, we're going to disassemble the NVR so we can install the hard drive.
What happens if you don't install the hard drive right away?
Oh, it's going to keep beeping at you. Beeping and beeping.
Yeah, that's what we basically found out earlier. So let's go ahead and get the hard drive in this thing.
Cool. So we got a couple screws.
And although it seems kind of weird that we have to install a hard drive, I think the benefit here is that it's an option for you to decide how much storage you want, right?
Yeah.
Most NVRs I've seen on Amazon just come with 2 initially, but one of the things that I've seen from a recommendation for NVRs is to get the Western Digital purple drives.
Yeah.
The purple ones are specifically rated for NVRs.
And this one can go up to 12 terabytes.
It's amazing how much space is in
Right?
here.
I don't know what we're doing. Yeah. So yeah, this white one right here goes into the power.
Okay, that provides power to the hard drive.
To the hard drive, correct. So boom. So this can power up to 2 hard drives.
Oh, you have 2 hard drives in there.
Yeah, so it'll be 2 6-terabyte hard drives
Oh.
to max this one out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is a SATA cable.
Okay, so it comes with 1 SATA cable.
Yeah. And there you go. Goes right in there.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, so we're gonna go get some screws for this, but yeah, it has 4 screw holes right here
Yep.
that would attach to
Bottom.
either this side or this side right here. So that's for both hard drives. So yeah, so we already got the SATA cables in and the power cable. So we got some screws as well. So we're gonna install the hard drive mounted on the NVR.
Yep. Just note that there's no hard drive screws that comes with the NVR.
Oh, yeah.
They usually come with your hard drive, so make sure you have that before putting those in.
Okay, so
Yep.
then we have
The power.
power. I have the power. Should be right.
All right.
Cool. So now we're gonna put the cover. You gotta slot these in here. Just with a lip. Almost kind of like slides in.
It's kind of like a PC case.
Yeah. Boom.
There you go. The ear is installed. So it's pretty helpful that they include the ears for rack mounting it into a secure rack. All right, now that we have the rack ears on, the next step is going through a basic setup.
So yeah, so what we're doing is we're about to power up the NVR, get the camera hooked up to the PoE port, and we're gonna hook up our LAN to our LAN port.
And one other thing that we did is check this little mini keyboard out.
Yeah, it's
it
pretty
comes
cool.
with a mouse. However, you're going to have to mouse over a virtual keyboard. You can hook up a mini keyboard / trackpad combo to this to ease the installation process. And I've got that plugged into the USB. If you're interested in this particular keyboard, check out the links in the description below.
Let's get her hooked up. So this is our patch cable.
Okay.
We're gonna get it hooked up to the camera. And DC port 1.
Yep, top left.
Yep. Port 1.
Okay, so we've got that one connected.
So we got our internet cable
Okay, that's
right
coming.
into a LAN port.
Let's put this into the LAN port.
Boom.
All right.
And then we hit our power button.
It's not beeping.
Yeah, that's good.
It's a good sign. Embedded NVR, Hikvision.
So it wants us to initialize the hard drive.
Oh, okay.
First screen, we get the activation screen.
Alright, so in the activation screen, this is where I create a password?
Yeah, so it's going to be username admin, and then you're going to create your own password. You have to make sure to write this number down.
Okay.
Or password down.
Ah, okay. You can click on new. Yep.
So you can always change it. So, English.
Alright, so now it's apply.
Next. So,
That looks good.
month, day, year, right?
Month, day, year. Yep.
And
It's 7:47. Oh look, I saw the camera for a second.
what? Oh yeah, there it is. Plug and play. So here. So DHCP.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, here it gets its own.
Yeah.
Its own. And we're gonna enable High Connect. That's so you can get the terms and condition. You scan that and it gives you terms and condition.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so oh, that's for the terms and condition.
So the server is 8,000.
Forget to talk to this.
Oh yeah, I forget.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because we're not doing that. Okay, so yeah, so server ports 8,000. So that's what we're gonna use to open up the ports so we can port forward.
Okay. Oh, this is the camera that's plugged
Yeah.
in?
So this is what? No, this is a hard drive.
Oh, the hard drive.
Yeah. So
okay.
uninitialized. So we're gonna initialize the hard drive.
Okay.
And it's gonna erase everything. Did you get everything out?
Yep. I don't know what's on there.
So that's gonna stop the beeping.
You're in like an automated mode. Okay, so there you go. It's no longer beeping.
Yeah. So that's
Okay.
good. So status is normal. So we go to next.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the camera.
Ah, okay.
Right here. That's the IP address right there. 192.168.
Oh, no. It says Samsung. It's picking up my camera downstairs.
Well, we can change that.
Okay.
Continuous. So yeah, so this way right here, the continuous, you can change. Let's see, start all day continuous recording all
Yeah.
channels. Yes, and then motion detection.
Start all day motion detection. Yeah.
It's weird. It doesn't go anywhere. It just tells you.
Oh, okay.
It's weird. Okay.
Not much of a wizard.
Yeah. So that was it. So
Okay, now the
that's
camera's set up.
So that's So that's pretty much the plug and play. It automatically display the camera.
Okay, that's pretty easy. So you can do that with all the cameras. You just plug them
Yeah.
all in and it should discover them.
Yeah.
Right.
Correct.
Okay.
And I'm gonna check this camera configuration.
Let's see. What was that? Oh, Google. Wi-Fi. And let's go to devices. So that's camera 1 though, see?
Yeah.
So wait, go back to the list again. D1. See? D1. That's D1. Okay.
Yeah, so this little blue arrow right here,
Uh-huh.
so what it does, it just pretty much updates the firmware.
Okay. Let's do that.
So let's do it.
And oh, you have to actually look for it, or current external.
Stores does not exist. Or is damaged. Please check refresh list. So
Oh, do you have to Oh, I see.
you probably have to download it from Hike.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
up
But
there.
okay, so it doesn't grab it off the cloud.
I thought it did since it's on the network.
You would think so, right?
So let me see here. Okay, so it's I'm just checking something real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's on the network.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Okay.
All right. So now that we have it connected, is it recording already? Can we play it back? I mean.
So yeah, so
once
it
it's-
should automatically start recording. So if we go to playback, You see these little lines right here?
Mm-hmm.
That indicates that's been recording. So we have the camera 1 selected, the date, which today's October 24th. We should have probably propped up the camera.
Oh yeah.
So,
pointing.
yeah, it's just pointing at nothing. So yeah, look right there. You see it waving?
Oh yeah, that's when we first plugged it in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just rewind.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
It's live.
It's upside down. There we go.
Boom.
And the reason why it's blurry is, if you take a look here, we have the plastic on there. And you want to keep this on until you install it, and then you take it off when it's mounted. Right?
Yeah, that'll keep the fingerprints and all the oils or
Yeah.
dirty hands while we're installing the cameras. Keep it clean.
Very cool. Okay. All right, so the next step is we'll just unplug this, and then we'll plug in the switch, and then we'll configure the cameras, and then we'll mount them up. And
Yeah,
then,
mount it up and get it all hooked up.
Okay.
Cool.
In this step, we've got the switch. It's a Luxul XMS 1010p, and we've got that connected to the NVR. So right now, here's the LAN port coming from my switch. From my router. It's going into the switch. This is a managed switch, and what that means is that we can log into this and manage everything that's connected to it. And what's going to connect to it are these cameras. These colored Ethernet ports are going to each of these cameras. When you first plug this in, it has a separate IP address. So when you go to section 3 of this manual, you'll see that as a 192.168.0.x address. Now my address for my network is different, and yours may be possibly different. Just make sure that you put the appropriate address using these instructions to set up the IP address of your computer to a static IP, and setting the gateway router address to 192.168.0.3. Now, if that's a little confusing, I understand that's a little bit out of the scope of this video, but just know that you have to successfully connect to this first before you can move on. If we switch back over to the browser, and then once you give this a new IP address, then when you select it, you can see that I have a 86, and we gave it a .80 address for this router, and now we can log into it. Default is admin. We log into the router, and we can see that ports 1 and 2 are connected via the green indicators here, right? And the gateway, this is my Google Wi-Fi gateway, which is ending in .1, and the IP address of this managed switch ends in .80. So what did you say what we should do in terms of the IP addresses of the cameras?
So we're going to number the switch. We're going to start it from 80.80, and then we're going to go on from there, 81, 82, 83, 84, and so on.
Okay, so in order to configure these cameras, you need a utility called SADP. If you look, we'll put this in the description below, but if you go to hikvision.com and then go to the downloads and tools, you download the appropriate tool for your operating system. I'm on a Mac, so we'll select SADP, and that stands for Search Active Devices Protocol. Basically, it's a user-friendly way to search what's on the network, because these IP addresses may be different, and this has a really nice way of connecting to it and changing the IP address, password, and configurations. So we'll go ahead and download that. Click on Agree to the Terms, and select a place to download it. I'll select it in my Downloads folder. And let's open it up. And let's open up the tool. If you see this is security, basic security of the Mac. What we'll do is Control and Open, and click on it. From here, it says welcome to the SADP tool installer. Now Freddie here, he's done a couple of these installs, and he has it already installed on his Windows machine, but I wanted to show you guys the way to install it if this was fresh for you, especially given that this could be a new system. So just put in your password, administrative password, to install it. Got it installed. Now hopefully it's in the applications. There we go. We'll open this up. Do I want this to accept? Let's go ahead and click on allow.
There it is.
There we go. Alright, so from here we can see that we've got the NVR, looks like, the one ending in .64, and then we've got two cameras. And on this third one here, number 003, you see how it has 192.168.86.39. When we were testing this earlier, we set this IP address to connect to my network, but we're going to want to change this to maybe like 81.
Yeah,
forward,
81,
right?
correct.
So from here, what do? Do we just double click this or select it?
So yeah, select it in the corner.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right here?
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
And then right here, we're able to, let's see, disable or uncheck the
Uncheck
DHCP.
Yeah, so we, okay, so now it's no longer that. Oh, what's this enable Hike Connect? That's for the app. Yeah, so let's go ahead and enable that.
Verification code. I did that code, huh?
Oh, you did that already? Oh, I
Remember?
see. Yeah, I guess we'll do that later. We can configure that later. The key thing is we want to get the cameras installed and connected, so we'll just give them all IP addresses. So we'll start this one with 81, right?
Correct.
And then we'll leave everything else the same. Okay.
That password, you set that.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. So from here on, you can just set it.
Okay. Oh, device rejected. What's going on here?
Okay.
Oh,
So, yeah.
okay. So yeah.
So that is the right password. So I think it's not letting us because it's already went through that initialization.
What we're going to do is we're going to take this fresh camera and initialize this one. If we go over here and select the camera, which is this particular camera here.
Yeah.
Right here.
Can you see it?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So usually it's DHCP is enabled, and you would have to disable the DHCP.
Okay, it's not enabled by default, so it's already off.
Okay.
So initially what SADP is doing is that we're going to initialize this camera and also give it an admin password. So you got to remember this, and typically what you might want to do is set up the same password on all the cameras so you don't have to remember multiple passwords, right?
Correct.
And then this is the password that you'll use when you put in the IP address that we just typed in, like this 192.168.86.81 in a web browser. This is the password that you'll be typing in for the admin password to log into the features of that camera.
Yeah. So it would have to be an Explorer browser.
Okay, Internet Explorer.
Yeah. There it is.
Okay. If you're setting up your Hikvision for the first time, this will be a pretty straightforward process. We will see that with the additional cameras. We'll just put this in as a troubleshooting feature because what happened was we did some testing beforehand, and then when we did the testing, we plugged the first camera, as you saw earlier, directly into the Hikvision, and it automatically provisioned it basically with the IP address, the username and password. And then this one, when we did previous testing, we plugged it into here, and then through SADP, the search tool, we provisioned this one. So these two were pre-provisioned, and they weren't considered new cameras. So now that we're logged into the camera directly, we're going to give it a new IP address using this tool, which is the browser connected directly into that particular camera.
And for that, we had to change our IP settings.
Network?
Yeah, network. And then change that to 86, 82.
Okay. Yeah, so now we want to change this to my network, which is 86. And then we want to give it an IP address manually. And then the default gateway will be .1, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's it, right? Just
Yeah.
click on save.
That's good. And it's going to kick us off.
Okay.
Reboot the unit.
Now that that's rebooting, I'll just reconfigure my network settings to match my network. So we'll go over here to USB network, and then I'll just go ahead and go back with DHCP, click on apply, and all I have to do is just unplug this because I'm connected to it wirelessly,
And then this one here.
and I plug this one, so we can take that off. So now, if we go here and click on refresh, while that other camera's rebooting, let's go ahead and set up that other camera, this .39. And we're going to do the same thing with this one, and we'll go to configuration. So let's go to network and Oh, see, now it's on DHCP. We want to take that off.
Disable.
And then we want to make this 82. Okay. And save. Okay. We initialized the 2 dome cameras, and then we've got 3 remaining cameras.
So yeah, so we're gonna initialize the color view camera and set the static IP address on that.
Yeah. And since this hasn't been initialized before, the SADP tool will help with this process. So we're going to click this, and you can see that this device is not activated, and we have to give it a password. So for this, you can add some security questions in case you forget your password, but in this case, we'll just go and click on cancel. Now we can set the IP address.
Yeah, so we'll set the same sequence IP address. So this one should be 83, right? 86, 83.
Yep, .83, because this is the 3rd camera.
Yeah.
Anything else we need to change?
On this,
just put the admin password and click on modify.
Yeah.
And a good tip here is that when you're adding new cameras, just add them one at a time, because if you add a bunch of cameras, it might get confusing.
We can go to the NVR and add it with that same IP address.
Okay, so you can go ahead and do it from there.
So we right click on the mouse, go to menu. We set this little pattern up. We click on camera.
Okay.
So now you guys can see we've added camera 81 and 82.
Yeah, which are these dome cameras. And just a quick tip, you'll notice on the back here, we don't have anything plugged in. This is where you would typically install your cameras, but now we have the LAN port going into the switch.
We're just going to click edit. And it's set to plug and play, so we want to change that to manual. And this is where we're going to type in that IP address that we set with the SADP tool. So 0.86, 0.83.
Okay.
Alright, click enter. So it's Hikvision, a protocol.
Yeah.
Port 8000, channel port 1, that doesn't matter. Auto, admin, and then we're going to put the password.
Okay. Just for a reminder, this would be the same password if you were to go to that IP address directly in a web browser. That would be the password you would use to connect to the camera directly.
And then we click OK. And it should take a couple minutes, and then the camera should come right up.
There you go.
So there it is. We right click out of here. So
there's the 3rd camera.
Yep.
Wow, it looks
cool. It's really
cool. Yeah, because there's no cover. You can see that the
looks
plastic.
more clear.
Yeah, I was like, wow, sharpened and rest. Okay.
But yeah,
Nice.
here's that camera. Let's see.
There you go.
Hello.
Very cool. All right. Oh, can we give it a name?
Yeah, we sure can. We didn't name him.
Or do we want to do that later?
We can log into it and then do it that way.
Okay.
That's
Yeah, let's
better.
continue with the rest of the cameras using the SADP tool.
So let me go back to...
Any other things that we want to do while we're in NVR?
No, we'll just get all the cameras added
Yep.
so we can go and mount them.
Okay, so the process for the rest of the cameras will be the same. We'll go ahead and pause the camera for now, and we'll add the cameras in there, and then we'll restart the recording when all the cameras are all added. At 20%. That's freaking cool. And that went up to 7 watts there. It's like freaking R2D2.
No, it sounds cool. It's probably where
Or
they
BB-8,
get,
BB-8 or something. Alright, let's look at the total wattage. Only 23% utilized. In summary, we got all 5 cameras connected to the switch over to the NVR, and then basically we just disconnect everything and rack them back up.
Yeah, so we'll get the cameras mounted, disconnect everything, get the cameras mounted, rack the switch, rack the NVR, and everything should be plug and play from here on.
Sounds pretty exciting. I'm stoked.
Yeah, me too. Can't wait to try out that guy, the PTZ.
Yeah,
cool.
especially from the outside view. We tested it inside,
Yeah,
and it's
the
really
zooms
clear.
The zoom's pretty cool.
All right. So if you have any questions, definitely add them to the comments below.
Yeah, thanks for watching, and like and subscribe.
All right. See ya.
Yeah.